Well, hello there. This is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage in Springfield, Missouri. Thank you so much for joining me. I haven't done this in so many weeks that I am going to be very rusty, and I'm really sorry about that, but it is for this one on display. Now, I know I'm backwards right now, but this will rectify itself here when I put the camera down, and it'll go the right way. It is just going to be rusty today. Rusty, as in not functional. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes. I just feel pretty out of the loop. But on the other hand, this is a kind of a cute set. Super easy to do. And this is one of our new items. So if you haven't gone on to Stampin' Up's website, make sure you check it out. And thank you for shopping with me. I appreciate it very much. And, if there's any catalog or anything that you need, make sure you contact me. And I'm going to turn the camera and get started. So today it is a very, very rainy day. And I am so glad because we have had so much dry weather. It's just been really strange that it's been so dry. And I just decided this year, because I'd lost all my roses to rosette disease anyway, I just decided, you know what? I am not going to... Why did you do that, computer? You just did something weird. Let me see what you're doing over here. I decided I am not going to go on to, this is so funny. I just decided I am not going to go and see, how dry the soil is. I'm not going to even look at any of that at all because, as far as I know, there's very little I can do about it anyway, and I could water, but I just decided I'm not going to water. Here, you should never have to water anything, so I'm not going to water, and I'm not going to worry about it, so there we go. Okay, I'm trying some new lights on here, and let's see what happens. All right, so anyhow, I think that's looking actually pretty good down there. We will see in a minute as it kind of clears up. It's this little dark corner over here that always gets really messed up. And then also this big bright light right there. But there's not a lot I can do about that. So on display, though, you're going to really like this stamp set. It's so cute. Of all the new things that we've gotten, this is not my favorite thing, but it's got a lot of potential because so I did this one, a birthday for the books. That one is on here. Good. For a birthday for the book. I did a whole bunch of stuff with old things because I've been combining a lot of my old sets with my new ones just because I've been doing this for so long that I'm not finding enough things to keep myself fully engaged. And that probably sounds bad, but it isn't bad. It just means I'm using my old things. And so I encourage you to do it. If you've been like me collecting stamps for a very long time, don't be afraid to just use more of your old stamps. So this is like an old Christmas set and a Thanksgiving set here that had Christmas on it, and I just piled it all in, and it was a riot. I had so much fun with that. And then this one, I did actually just use the stamps here, because treat your shelf, that is something I will never send to anyone. I'll probably redo that, but for people who like puns, it's cute. And but I did really like the idea of books, but there's just so many things you could do. So this set is really good for people who collect plants, who like cats, who have birds, again, books or bottles. But don't limit yourself to just that, because really anything that is a collectible that you actually have, like shells, if you have little ones, they do have to be pretty small, the stamps, to fit on these shelves.
But when I was looking for extra things, I didn't have a hard time. This is just one of my favorites, and I knew that little dog was so cute, and I like a little dog in the picture instead of a cat. I'm sorry, I'm a dog person. So, anyway, so get it, have fun with it, adding all the things you'd like to do. Now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I added in, this die does the embossing too, which is really nice. But if you don't do anything to bring out the embossing, it kind of gets lost. So I am going to just show you what I did. It's super simple. You don't even need any extra tools. You just need your ink pad to do it. And then the other thing is the background. So when you cut this out, it actually cuts out these the same color cardstock on the back. So you could just use that. And I did that here. For this one, I kind of wanted this to be girly and gold. So I did the gold. This is a retired paper that's probably still on the last chance list. This one, though, I just did the pecan pie as the background, which is what I'm going to cut this out of today. But you could do any kind of wood. We just happen to have wood bookshelves that actually look kind of similar to these, so I kind of am partial to the wood look, but you can do anything. Now this one I stamped with this lasting linen. This is a new background stamp. Now I have an super old linen Stampin' Up! Background stamp on a wood block, and I compared them, and I actually like this one better. And it might be because my old wood one is old, so it's not giving as great of an impression, but this one had a stronger impression. And I'm going to be stamping it on basic beige so that you can kind of get a gander at how it looks. Then for this card, I did an embossed version of it. I wanted that texture to stand out more, so I actually embossed it. But I can't even find my embossing folder that I used, which was, I don't even know what it was. It was probably a linen one. I thought I had it right there, and I don't. So I'm not going to hunt for it, but I do want to stamp that. And then my basic color, I think I'm going to go ahead with Garden Green, because I think I used... Boy, one of my favorites is the, blah, 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 blah. It's an old one. Soft Succulent. Oh, yeah, I really like that one. So I used that with some of the colors and then did that. But, of course, that's a retired color. So we'll go ahead with Garden Green. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this and then stamp that so that you can see how that lasting linen looks. Now, on the website, there are so many new things available right now. So you should be checking it out, because you're going to be surprised at what you can find. This is a very large, you can see it fills the card. Okay, this is not standard. This is 5 3/4 by 4.5. So this card is pretty big, because if you don't do it that big, you're gonna have a hard time fitting everything in. Now this one is 4 1/4 by 5.5, but you can see I did not include the top. I just cut it off, or didn't actually cut it. It is a separate piece. So I just cut the bookcase and stuck it on, so that I could do a standard size card and still fit everything on that I wanted, but it does really fill up the card. So that's partly why this is such an easy one to do. Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and just cut a half sheet. We're going to stamp that, and then I'll cut it, because probably I won't have a perfectly squared up, piece anyway. Now for me, if I wasn't here with you, I would have my plastic and my cover off, and I'd just be using my glass mat that's right here and sticking this upside down onto the glass mat, because you can. It's a photopolymer. And then putting my card, I would ink it up like that, and then put my card on it and rub it, not rub it like that, but rub here to make sure it adhered really well. Lift it up, and we're good. But because I'm doing this with you, and I've got my website here. If you want to check it out, I have not, of course, done anything with it for at least a month. Boy, I'm pretty far behind here, but that's okay. All right, so here's Lovely Linen. I do really like Lovely Linen, and I think we're gonna do a crumb cake background for it, and provided I can find that. And then I also will need to stamp it off. I'm gonna do it 2 times so that you can see what this looks like, both as a strong, completed version and stamped off. I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. Okay, and then I've got a friend of mine bought me, oh, she's so sweet. This really helps a lot. So you can go on Amazon and find this. For these really big ones, you can get a really nice impression if you do that. I also could put a foam pad underneath. You can see I didn't quite get all of it. It's okay for this card, but yeah, didn't quite get the whole impression because of what I just did. So this time I'm gonna go ahead and do it the way I always do it, which is I'm gonna go ahead full strength because I want to see all of that linen. And this time I'm gonna just put my cardstock right on top, and I'm gonna use this to smooth that all down right there, pushing all of it down. This pushes it down flat. So it's not like my fingers, which will make little divots kind of in the card. And that way it's going to be nice surface. You can do it what I'm doing right now, but you just have to be a little careful. And do you see that did actually work better? With these big ones, it's really helpful to do it that way. And just lay it down. And as long as you're confident in yourself, practice it, you'll get confident. It's not hard, and then it looks really good. But I do really like that linen. Wanted to make sure I gave that plug because I don't think I think I mentioned it in a newsletter, but I really haven't shown it much. It's the kind of thing that sort of hangs around, on the background. And you can see this is not the packaging, okay? I'm not doing new packaging. Forget that. I'm doing my old packaging. I've got tons of these cases from having combined sets. And so I just write the name on it, when the date was. I cut the image that they send off and stick it on the front. I don't know what this is. Lasting Linen is going to be a background. But for me, I'm just taking little tiny reduced images of whatever they have and sticking them on the side so that I can store it like I store every stamp set. You can see that's what I did for this. I took its name on display, stuck it there, reduced all the images so that I could actually see what it is on the side, and then there we go. So you don't have to buy new stuff just because companies package things differently than you like. You can do it however you wish. It's your product. I'm not selling it. It can be exactly what I choose it to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this. I do want, I'm going to do the big card. So this card is going to be ultimately 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, right? But I'm going to go ahead and start by just getting the edges off and squared up, because right now they're not going to be, because I did it slightly crooked there. I'm going to have to change my blade. It's obviously dull. Probably dull, like my brain is sometimes kind of dull. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got 4 1/2 right here. I am going to want my card width to be 4 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a little bit of it. So we've got 4 1/4, because I do want a little border. And then this is already right at about what I want it to be. I want it to be at 5 1/2. I'm gonna cut this side at 5 1/2, and then that's gonna give me the edge that I want. And I need to change this blade like right now, because this is not working for me. I'm gonna hang on to this little tiny piece of lasting linen, and I'll save this for another day, because I'm only gonna get to 1 card today. And let me see what we've got going here. Oh yes, I do. I have a little list of things here that I wanted to make sure. There is a virtual card retreat coming up. If you like to do things online, like if you're watching me right now, that means you like to do things online. So Stampin' Up! It's kind of pricey. It's $165, but you do get a lot for that, okay? So if you like to do things online, you'll need to register like immediately, because there's not a lot of days left. It's actually January 22 and 23, so it's coming up. And it's it actually runs from 2 to 9 p.m. Mountain time. Both of those days, but obviously they are videotaping it. So by purchasing it, you will be able to access the videos probably for up to a year. I don't know how long, maybe forever. And I doubt it, but you never know. For your $165, that's a lot of class time that you're getting. And then also, you're going to get a lot of product too. Now I need to get a new piece of garden green, because that's not large enough. So let me go over here and find another piece of garden green. And so you're going to you're going to get a lot for what you're getting, because there's paper, there's embellishments, there's, I don't know, maybe a stamp set. I don't really know. I don't know. But anyway, all I know, oh, I almost cut it the wrong size. So I need this to be 5 3/4. So let me cut that. And then this is going to be 4 1/2. And this is my card front. Okay, so let's see if that is big enough. Perfect. It is. So when I do my base card, it is going to have to be a bigger one, and it'll fit still, though, in an A6 envelope. For some reason, A6s are harder to find right now. I don't know why, but you can order them, and you can find them, I suppose, at Hobby Lobby at times. I don't know, but it's just been interesting to me that they were really easy for me to find, and now all of a sudden A6 envelopes are really difficult to find. I don't know if I need to cut this pecan pie, but I might. All right, so we're gonna look at the dies. Okay, so here's this piece. I'm gonna do 2 of these. I don't know that I'm gonna need 2, but I'm going to do 2. And then there's this one. Okay, we're gonna do 1 of those. If you're gonna do a frame, I'm gonna put the frames in there because I want those. I don't want brown books. Let's see what else. Oh, here are the handles. I do think the handles should be black, or they should be a metal. And there's a few of those. What else? So that's it. I think these are the only things that I need that are gonna be the actual display thing. So there we go. So yes, please do go online, register for your online creativity, your virtual card retreat. It's in the, if you type that in on your search bar, it will come up, virtual card retreat. All right, so we're gonna do that and that. And we're going to do 1 of these, and then I will do another one of those here in a minute. All right, got it all lined up. Here we go. I don't know who's dinging my phone, but I suspect it's just a sales thing. Something's dinging my phone. And also that virtual card kit thing, the kit or the class, it is available in English and French. So make sure you're ordering the language you want. Maybe it's easy to access on the video. I don't know, but just in case it's not, I'd be careful about that. All right, we'll look at that in a minute. Now save all of these pieces if you want them to be in the background or if you want to use them as a door. Because for mine, I kind of wanted a little hidden message. You're the best. So they can pull that down. It's kind of fun and it's easy to do. I'll tell you how to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to tell you how to do it, okay? Because you're going to have to cut it a little bit. You're just going to take one of these. Well, I'll just figure that out here in a minute. Let's take the frames out. Okay, and this out. And then we're going to do one more of these. Let me grab my little pick tool. Out of here so that I can get this out. Very cute. And then, so also on the website, there are a bunch of kits. And there's one. And this one just fell out. Very nice. All right. We're going to do one more of these. And there's one called Adopt a Pet. That's a kit that's super cute. If you've got little kids that like to do it, you'd have to do it with them. The kit's not that simple. Like my granddaughter is doing this, but for a kit like that, I think I'd want to be present to do it with her, and she doesn't live anywhere near me. So I will not burden a parent with all kinds of little things. I don't know how to get this. So here's the size of the photo. I would love to be able to know how to do a real photo of my own family in there. It's so small, you wouldn't really know what it is, I suspect, but still, I just think it could be kind of fun to be able to do that. And so if anyone knows how to do that, just let me know, okay? I'd love to share that with you. Now, where's there it is. All kinds of little pieces. I don't want to lose any of them. So there's the frames. And there's the world. I should have cut the world out. The world's really cool. And then you're going right here. All your little goodies there. And then this piece too needs to be in here somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. Maybe I should have put that on the front. Okay. Will you fit? Yes, you will. All right, so now the other things that I want to cut out, the only thing that I want metallic, I'm going to do the birdcage metallic. I might as well do the world one. And the handles, we will do the handles. I don't think I need metallic for any of these other things. I've done them for other things, but I didn't necessarily want them that way. So I'm going to keep my pick tool out. I think I'm going to be needing that. And we will get a little scrap of metallic. I think I want it to be gold. I don't think I want silver. I think we're going to do gold. So we're going to use a scrap of metallic and get all of these cut out with that. Maybe we'll do it up here. Boy, somebody's sure bothering my phone. I'm not sure why they think I'm interested, but they are, whoever they are. This is one of the nice, I've got a new phone and I'm seeing today if this is going to work out well to use my old phone for my FaceTime videos, because otherwise that dinging would be on this phone and you'd be hearing it really loud and clear. And I used to have it set so that it didn't bother me at all, but with the new phone, obviously I haven't done the setting of please do not disturb me, and that's partly because I never know when I'm doing these videos anymore. I never have a set schedule. This is just set to start. I do it on a day when Jeff is doing his substitute teaching, and I never know what day he's going to pick. Oh, I forgot to do the world. Oh, well. I'll do that on the side. Okay, I'm going to just do this little picky pick and get this out. So cute. I don't do birds, but the bird cage itself is super cute. And then there's a handle, and there's 2 more handles. Okay, I'll put those up there because I don't want to lose them. I'll put these away. Maybe I should I'm gonna do the world really quick here on the side so that I have it done. If I can, let's put these things away first before I lose all these little pieces. Oops, didn't get a little scrap out. Okay, so other new items, in case you're wondering what other there's new kits. Oh, it's bonus days. Now, I've forgotten about bonus days. They do it every year. We're not doing celebration anymore. That had gotten to be just people were expecting it and weren't using it all that much anymore. It was, people get tired of the same old thing. It doesn't really matter even how wonderful something is. They get tired of doing the same old thing. So I think celebration actually had probably run its course a long time ago, and I wasn't sorry to see it go. I was sorry to see the deals that we got go, because it is kind of nice to get those. Wow, that world one is like super tiny. But, we're going to cope with that, I suspect, by just enjoying the other sale type items that they've got, because now they're doing, so they got bonus days, that's the same. For every $50 that you spend at Stampin' Up, they will email you. This is only going to February 2. But from now on until February 2, if you order $50 or more of Stampin' Up items, they will email you a code that you can go and buy $5. You'll get a $5 coupon basically off of other future things that you buy. And I'm not sure when you can renew those. Usually they renew it like later. So it's not an immediate thing. You don't get to go right to your email and instantly get that code and place a second order. And who would do that anyway? Because you would be paying shipping and handling, and it wouldn't end up being in your benefit to do that. But that is something going on until February 2. There's a new catalog of lots of things like this. This is new. Don't forget to check out that last chance list, because there's always new things on there all the time. Now, I'm going to show you how to get this. Let me put this down so you can get a better picture of the embossing detail here. You can see it. It's just that you can't see it nearly as good as you can. It's gray in here today, dark and gray, because it is a rainy day. So you're probably having a hard time seeing everything well. But this is as good as it's going to get. It is a gray day, and I've got all my lights on, and that's it. Which it could be better, but it's not, and that's okay. I'm going to use that, instead of using pecan pie, I think I'm going to go ahead and just use my crumb cake. It's a dark enough brown that this is going to work. And you just need to make sure your pad is a perfect one. Some of our ink pads are starting pretty quickly. They start to grow some kind of fungus on it. Just get a new pad. If it is within, I think those pads are guaranteed for 3 years. If it's less than 3 years old, call Stampin' Up! And tell them I'm sick and tired of my stamp pad growing, for lack of a better word, crap on top of the ink pad. I don't know why some of them are doing it more than others, but they are. And this is one of mine that's fairly new. That's totally trashed. I don't use this color a lot anymore. I've scraped the fungus off, and that's why it looks the way it does. It ruins the pad. Once it grows, you're done. There's nothing you can do about it. And I don't know if some environments are worse than others, but I had it happen in the Tri-Cities when it was very dry. Now, this was one that was immediately also getting bad, and yet this one is a year old, so it's a new one, and it's doing really well. So some are better than others. I'm storing it right next to the one I just showed you that's ruined. So all I can see on this is a very old pad, because you can see it's even got the old design. I'm glad I didn't get a new one, because I like it. It has the new foam pad, so it's not the linen pad. There's a slight indentation there. I don't know why, but I suspect it's this problem kind of starting up a little, but it isn't bad, so I'm happy with it. I'm just saying, make sure you call Stampin' Up! And they will replace it if it's less than 3 years old. Other than that, you just have to buy a new one. Now I'm going to take this, and it's going to make it darker. And I gotta be careful not to get this super, super dark. In fact, I wish I had some gloves on, because this is gonna get my fingers super inky. I'm gonna grab a tissue. Let me see if, I'll just use a napkin. I've got mine right here, okay? So I'm gonna just use this napkin to try to do this so that I'm not making a big mess. I'm just laying it on here, and I'm just gently, gently pushing it down onto the pad, and then you can see how that works. Okay, you can get it darker, you can get it lighter, however you like. Just don't push it hard, because if you do, you're going to go right into all of the inner part too. Okay, so as long as you're doing it with a fairly light push, you're going to get the kind of coverage you want without it getting too dark. Now, if you want to lighten it up rather than get it darker, then use that white craft pad. That works really well too, to bring out the design from this embossing. And I've tried inking up the die, and it doesn't work as good as just doing this. Now, it is going to look aged, because it's not going to be completely evenly covered, but I do like that. Don't forget to do this one. And this one's not going to look quite as good because it's mostly smooth, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, and you can kind of see what I mean when I say it's not going to look as good, it's not going to be as smooth, but what I'm going to do after I do that is I'm going to kind of rub that a little bit just to lighten it up a tiny bit. Kind of got to get that middle there though. Okay, now I'm avoiding most of the gunk on my fingers, not entirely, but mostly. Okay, you can use a brush. I've used a brush not as successfully. If you use a sponge and you're really careful, you can kind of avoid getting it in the crevices, but no, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It doesn't give you as much of a coverage as you want. Okay, so anyhow, I do really like this though. It's pretty. So now we're ready to do this, and this is going on here. You can decide if you want to use it. It can go either way. However you want to do it. I think on the package, it's probably pictured with this going down. Mine goes up, so I kind of prefer it that way. You can have it on the top. You can have it on the bottom. You know, if you're doing it on the bottom too, you probably want to do it like that. But you can also do it like this. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. And I don't know if I'm going to use that. Now, for the door, if you want to do a door, what you want to do is take your background. If you're going to use that, you can. You can also use any colored background that you want. I mean, anything would work. But what I would do is just take your piece that you've already cut out and just draw a line around it like this if you want a hidden door. Okay, and then lay it on this line and draw again around here like this. Okay, and now you've got your double door. You're going to score where that is. You're cutting this part out. Okay, and you'll want to cut it just a tiny bit smaller than your lines have done because, of course, you were going around. Okay, so that's pretty close. I'm not going to use this piece anyway. I'm just showing you what you can do if you want a hidden message on your cards. Kind of fun to do. And then take your board and lay that line right here, and then you're going to just score that like so. And then you want the part you cut the best. You're going to want that front to face there. And then this will be and you could have it opening up top, or you can have it opening to the bottom. Obviously, if you want one to the side, then you would do 2, and then you would score it this way, and it could open this way. You're gonna end up having actually to do 3 and then cut half and so on. I wouldn't do that, but anyway, it's a possibility. And then you could use these little handles in the middle of it and open it up that way. I mean, it's so cute. But I'm not doing that. I'm going to use my linen background and just stick with what it is. Okay, I like it that way. And we're ready to assemble the card. So let's go ahead and put the glue on. Now there is a new, I already mentioned there are new kits, but there's also there's a new stamps and dies in the new catalog. There's a new item of the month. That's what it is. There's a new item of the month. I always forget this item of the month thing. So how the item of the month works, there's a new one every month. Hence the name stamp of the month. Actually, this time it is a stamp set. It's a sentiment stamp set, but if you buy $75 worth, and why wouldn't you? If you buy $75 worth, then you, for just $5 more, can buy whatever is the item of the month. And this month it's fabulous sayings. That's what it is. So if you need sentiments, it's got all kinds. It's a variety one and super cute. Now, I wanted my display to be raised so that my pieces can also be on dimensionals and raised, which is a little challenging because these are so skinny. Like super challenging. I don't really want it to be showing. So I'm going to end up using my black dimensionals, and I'm going to do quite a lot of cutting of them. Okay. So that I've got little teeny tiny pieces, which is a little tedious to do, I understand. Now, the big one can go right on here like that. but all these little ones will fit right in here. Okay, it's just that you have to have a fair number of them to really support this well. But you see how quick and easy it actually is. So that's one reason you want to buy these dimensionals. You can buy strips of oh, that's a white one I've got stuck on here. I think that's shouldn't be on there. You can, but the strips are actually quite fat. The strip dimensionals that you can cut, and they're just thin strips. They're thin enough for this outer edge, but they're not thin enough for the inner one. So just cutting these little minis like this actually works pretty good. You just want to make sure you're getting it on all of these, because it's just going to make it easier in the long run. That one will fit there. That will fit there. I think this will fit in the corner. Good, it did. So anyhow, that's it for the new things. Today's a rainy day. Oh, I'm looking out there. I think the rain has stopped. I am so glad to be getting some rain. Our California friends have had plenty. I was really wondering when that was going to come over here, and obviously it didn't, but I don't know if you guys are still getting tons and tons of rain, but I've been jealous of your rain, because we've needed it. And it would be nice if we could share these things a bit better, but on a day that's super, super rainy, my daughter has got toddler and a very small child. So those rainy days are tedious. They are used to having a lot of outdoor time in the winter. It's one of the perks of living in California, even if other things about it are unpleasant. That is actually always really nice. And so anyhow, they've been stuck inside, I think, a lot. She sounded pretty done with the rain. Ooh, that's pretty close to that edge. Now, by using black, it's theoretically, it should be hidden a little if it's on the edge and showing. However, since this is brown and not black, if I'd wanted to make sure it was hidden, I would have made a black bookcase. And then probably would have done the white craft pad on top to kind of gray it out, but then that would have given a better a surety that the little black dimensionals wouldn't be showing. But I think it's going to be okay. And I'm I try to avoid all these tiny little pieces because this is so tedious to watch, I understand. But there's just no other than doing it ahead of time. I mean, I could have done one ahead of time, but you're going to kind of want to know how long does this really take. I mean, I can say this is quick and easy, and it kind of is. Anything that's layered with lots of pieces is going to take more time, even if it is super easy. Now, I want the little legs to be like right on the bottom here. So we'll stick that on there like that, hoping it's level, and it looks pretty level. Perfect. All right, so now we need our little bird, because we definitely don't want the bird cage without the bird. That's going to go there. I guess it can go here. And the handles, I don't know if I'm even going to use the handles. We'll see. I'll think about that. The world, I do want to use the world. You're going to go in there. All these other items to fill in, I'm going to need to do some stamping to get that part done. And let's have a look and see if this is going to look good on the top. I think it actually does. So let's add that in. Okay, that one there. That one there. I'm gonna do it like there and like there. So I'm not real sure. I don't want it to be sticking out. I don't want it to be on that part. Very good. All right, there we go. And then I think I'll just put some glue underneath this right here so that sticks down well. Okay. There. All right, so cute. I do really like this set. Once I get that all done, it feels pretty good. So I could be reading a book today since it's raining, but I do that every day. In fact, I was looking online to see what kinds of things do they recommend you do on a rainy day these days. I know reading used to be one of the main things. You know, you waited for a really good rainy day because you could catch up on your reading. People, do you read with a Kindle or on your computer? I mean, you can, but I really wouldn't recommend it. Now that will fit in there, but I'm gonna have to trim it up, and I'm not really convinced it's gonna trim up nicely, but we'll see. Okay, and the top. And the bottom. Now let's see. Oops, I don't want it to go up. I want it to go down. Ah, there we go. So now you've got it. You can fit it in. It's going to kind of shove down in there like that. And then you can glue that. And then you've got, oops, right, like that. And then you've got a way to pull down your door. Okay? But I'm just showing that that's how you can do that, but I'm not actually doing it with this one. And because I've already done the hidden thing, I'm not going to do another one. But I do want to stamp out those other items. So let's get a piece of white cardstock to do that with. And now the books are so cool. I'm going to color those, okay? We're going to cut those out and color them. That way I can do very many colors. But they also, look at this. You've got a variety of books, okay? This one too, I can color. So I'm going to get that one out. It's embossed. So I'm just looking for all the ones that are embossed. And then I'm going to cut them out and color them. This plant, I think I might also do that with this one. Color it. Cut it out and then color it in. And then that way I'm going to get exactly what I want. So today, this is the perfect activity for a rainy day. You can't find anything more entertaining than making a fun, cute card. So go for it. Crafting was on the list. So tea. Drinking tea and reading a book. That was one. And that's always a good plan. In fact, for my shelf, I looked for a little cup, like a teacup that would be the right size. I think there's a desk set that we had a while ago. There might have been one small enough. I'm not 100% sure of that because I really did want to find that. I was thinking that would be perfect, and I did want to find that, but I don't know that I did. All right, so this one's going to get colored in because you've got you've got greenery and the pot. Okay, so I'm going to just do it out of white and then color it. There's my books. They popped right out. And then the little canister There's the lid. The lid is cute, but seriously, could we have done it in one set rather than 2 pieces? But this way you can have it opening, because I think with my Christmas one, Santa's cookies could be in that canister, and you could have like a little hand reaching in there or something. So, I mean, there's some reasons why they do what they do, but sometimes it's like, seriously, how many parts do I need to do this little project? All right, so there are the books. We will get to those in a moment. All right, and then we're going to stamp. All right, so the things that we want to stamp here. Okay, make sure I want the world, so let's get the world out. We can use our crumb cake to do that. The kitty actually comes as a little, you can get a solid black kitty like I did, because that was easier to do. Or you could do a light colored little kitten and do stripes, because the stripes are a separate little set, which would be super cute. We'll do this little kitty and see what we're going to do with it. Okay, we're going to do crumb cake, and we're going to do a stamped off version of you. Okay, like that. Uh-oh, I'll have to do it like this because that didn't really work. And I don't want it to be just crumb cake. Okay, so there's our little kitty, and then we'll do the same. We'll do a different color for his little stripes. You can kind of see his little face. I don't know, you might want to do that one a little darker. I might not even use that. I definitely want the garden green for my sentiment. And we're going to do, You've been on my mind? No. We will do the birthday for the books one, because that's pretty clever. We'll just do it with crumb cake rather than green. That way I'm not going to lock into a color scheme. I kind of like neutrals. And we've got these leaves are quite nice. We'll need garden green for that. Let's do a couple of these bottles, possibly. Do 2 of those. I think we're going to want those stamped off. Maybe I should have done them with green. No, I kind of like them that way. And a pot for my plants. Oh, the pitcher. I do like the pitcher. The pitcher's super cute. Let's do the pitcher with green. Okay, garden green, where are you? This garden green one's really hard for me to find. I don't know why. It always is. And I've really super inked it up. So it's got the old linen one, and sometimes it's really, really juicy. Sometimes not. Okay, there's my picture, but it's not connecting really where I want it to. There we go. That's better. All right, so again, if you're having trouble with this sort of thing happening, grab a piece of foam like this, put it underneath, and it does take care of that problem. I should have probably got it out, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then we've got a leaf Let's grab another piece because I'm kind of running out of room here. There's my leaf. And I think we're gonna do a pot with green, and then we'll stamp it off. Like that. And like that. So I have a stamped off version. And what else do we want? I do kind of like that green. Maybe I'll do these bottles with the green. Okay, let's try it. Not bad. All right. If you like lots of plants, you can have lots of plants. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5, 6. I don't have that many spaces, so I think we've got plenty of items. Now I just get to cut those all out and figure out how I want it to all go in there, and we're good. All right, let me get rid of that and that and these. Lots and lots of little teeny tiny parts. All right, we've got that. We've got the kitty. I didn't finish the cat, but oh well. There's the cat. Now the cat's magnet is going to move around. So that one I can see right now. I need to get that one cut out immediately. Where's my, oh, there it is. Okay. You're not wanting to cooperate. The cat's tail just wants to, just like a cat's tail does, it wants to go on its own. It has a life of its own. We have this super cute video of our little 2-year-old granddaughter when she first really discovered the dog's tail wagging, and it's a super patient dog. I mean, super patient. So, why are you, there it is. It just sat there and let her grab it and make it wag and pulled it all around. And the dog just sits there, lays there, loves the attention. In fact, doesn't mind at all. It's a really nice dog. It was a really cute video. So thank you, Mary, for that. That was so fun. I had